And don't come to another one of our public hearings and throw little digs at us about CRP. That is a completely different issue.
It's not, Councillor, it's not a different issue in any way. And I know your council has attempted to separate those two things. You cannot do it.
Well,
the CMP and the CRP are about regional planning. I've heard, Councillor, many members of your council say, we don't need the CMP because the IMCs and the IDPs work really well. This is a great example of how they don't work. So don't think they're little digs at you and don't take it personally. The fact is your
totally
council,
your opinion.
Your council needs, of course it's my opinion,
Councillor
sir. Do you often hector people who are at public hearings if you disagree with them, Councillor? I try to tell my council not to do that. But listen, the point is this, that you may see them as little digs. The whole issue is that your council has long stood on the argument that we don't need a metropolitan plan because we can do this bilaterally. And what I'm telling you is in this case, it's not working.
In one case, that you feel it isn't working.
Sir, if it was working, you wouldn't have your two biggest neighbors at public hearings saying
I wasn't going to ask this, but I'm going to.
Go ahead.
You continue to fight this and want this control thing. Did you or did you not make a statement that if you didn't get your way on the CMP, that you would bring down the mother of annexations on the government and this county, and that you would 690 everything that you could?
Give me a better option.
Did you make that statement or not?
Give me a better option, Councillor.
Did you make that statement
Councillor,
or not?
That's not relevant to the ASP, but I'll tell you this.
Relevant.
Give me a better option. Show me that you can do good regional planning, and then we don't have to do it. I didn't say yes, Councillor. Nice try.
You know, and...
So, no, let me finish if you don't mind, Reeve Boehlkee.
Sure.
Councillor, look. I know you take this personally. I know that anytime anyone says this... Sir, that was really personal. If that ain't personal, I'd love to see what happens when you go personal. But, sir...
You don't want to see that.
No, I probably don't. And then you don't probably want to see it from me. But, sir, here's the point. You can't pretend that the elephant's not in the room. And if your council is willing to come up with an alternative, if your council is willing to come up with a better plan, if your council is willing to come up with a way that we can do thoughtful regional planning together that doesn't lead to outcomes like this, we will be happy to be partners in all of that. But if you don't, you understand that doing something like this directly on our boundary leaves us with very little option. Then to say, well, what are our other options? And right now under the MGA, that 690 is our option. Right now, under the MGA, the ability to go and talk about real annexation is our option. You have the power to avoid that, not me, you. And if you're not willing to exercise that power, you leave us with no other option.
So...
Yeah, you can throw your hands up at me. You can pretend
okay,
that the needs of 1.2 million people don't matter at all. You can keep pretending that, and I'd love to see you make that argument to the provincial government.
So, and just to be clear, if someone says, I have options, and those options are in the MGA, and they are in documents that we have signed and agreed to do, then they have every right, and it's completely legitimate for someone to say, here are the next steps, and here are the other options, and it does not behoove anyone in this room to get angry because someone actually pointed it out.
Thanks, Reeve Boehlkee. Sorry about that.
No, that's no problem. It happens here, and I apologize that maybe you're not used to it so much as we've become a little more bulletproof toward it. But, Councillor Kendall?
I got a little red light on here.
Okay, Councillor Ashdown?
Actually, I think that was worth the price of admission. Thank you very much.
It was kind of fun. I'm just getting warmed up for secondary suites.
Please give us more notice next time, because I think we could probably get a better price for these seats if we could put them up online.
Hopefully this was all streamed.